there's this Crip that's been going around LA. His name is 4Xtras.
I already know who you talking about. Crazy enough,
I
right?
saved the
Yeah,
best for last. Yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
4Xtras, he's been claiming he can knock out a UFC fighter. He's a big boy. What do you think when you see this? Because I know you've been in some street fights too. You haven't just been fighting in the cage. So what do you think when you see something like this?
To some degree, I do agree with him, but not with him knocking out a UFC fight, right? Because I don't know his skill sets. I don't know what, but there's a lot of people out there in the world on the street that have not went to no MMA gym that could get busy with a UFC fight. I know
There's not.
personally.
There are some you're saying. Yeah.
There's guys that I could take on the UFC roster and line them up with the guys that I'm talking about on the street, and them dudes on the street will get busy with them niggas. And the UFC fighter will have a hard, difficult time, right? But that's only the bottom barrel that I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, there's still strategy, there's still training, there's still like a lot of things that go behind it. So you can't expect just to be a dude off the street to take on a high level fighter and thinking that you ain't gonna have no type of preparation being done and go out there and actually be able to compete. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. But there are guys in the world that I do feel like give them an opportunity, give them time to prepare, give them time to train, learn some shit, and they can rock with a couple guys.
Yeah. I mean, I think that might be what he's doing now. I think he's training to fight SD Dumas.
Bro, bro, please tell us. So, where's that happening? Because the UFC I know is not about to allow that to happen. I already know.
I mean, I think
I
it's gonna
already know
happen in LA.
because that's what I wanted to do, and they told me that I can do
With who?
it. Don't worry about who. It can't happen now.
Yeah.
Like, it can't happen now. So my thing was I wanted to do like a boxing thing to kind of show people I knew how to box, right? So I said, like, why not do like an exhibition? Like I don't get paid, I don't make no money, but I box a real boxer could kind of show people my real skill sets. You know what I'm saying? And I was trying to set it up with a couple people. You know what I mean? A couple good names. They said, nah, I can't rock with that. Can't do that. I was like, bro, we doing all this other jujitsu and y'all letting dudes do this wrestling. It's like it's different. I'm like, how's it different? It's the same thing.
Yeah. That's odd. But then they let somebody compete in jiu-jitsu. That's a weird one. I don't know why they didn't let you
So
do
so
that.
I don't know how homeboy getting away with it. If he do it and
Yeah.
get away with it, we're gonna run them numbers back up.
All right. The
Because
word on
I don't think there's anything in my contract that say I can't do it.
so you'll go do like a
I was just told I couldn't do it. That makes sense.
yeah. So you'd go do like a Misfits boxing type shit,
Yeah, why
like
not?
Darren Till. That's where he just
Like
fought.
Darren Till. Yeah, to some degree, but Darren Till getting paid. That's the only difference.
Yeah. So you can't get paid.
No, but I'll do a charity. I love, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even need the money. I just like to show people what I'm about, right? It don't have to be like an actual legit boxing fights, you know what I mean? We can have a certain rule, we can have gear, whatever. But I feel like just seeing the skill sets in my boxing, a lot of people can learn, right? A lot of people can see like, oh yeah, Buddy will be ready once he's done with the UFC and once he's done fighting, you know what I'm saying, mixed martial arts. Because I would like to transition over to boxing as well, But a lot of guys that do it from MMA, they only doing it because of the money, right? They don't actually try to learn how to box. I've been boxing for a good minute now, especially been with Reg. I've been with Reg, STL Boxing Academy for 4 years now.
Yeah.
A
Okay.
lot of
So
years.
with 4 Xtras and SD, to answer your question though, I think they're just gonna spar at the gym or something like that.
That's cool. Yeah, I think they can get away with that. They got to record it
Yeah.
though. They definitely got to record
They
it. If
have
they
to record
don't
it.
record it, yeah.
But I heard Whack 100 was saying like I think did you see that Gillian Wallow boxing event?
Uh, I didn't see it, but I've seen clips of it. Yes.
Yeah, I think Whack's gonna try to do something like that for SD and 4 Xtras. I don't think that'll work. I think it has to just be a gym spar. It can't be any type of show where it's
It
like
can't be a show. It cannot be a show.
filmed and shit like
I
that. Yeah.
repeat, and I'm gonna help my man out. Do not do that if that's the case, right? Because he's gonna get in trouble. I promise you, he's gonna get in trouble. But if they spar and they just come in and just get some work, cool. And they can have, and that's the cool part about that. You can have as many people watch.
Right.
You
I'm
know,
gonna pull up down there if I can. 4 Xtras
where's
been
it, where's it
ghosting me
supposed to be
though.
at? Where's it
Huh?
supposed to be at? Where's it supposed to
Probably
be at?
just like an MMA gym in LA or Long Beach. But I heard Antonio McKee didn't want to train 4 Xtras.
He didn't want to train him.
Rampage went to Antonio McKee and was like, "Yo, can you train 4 Xtras or some shit like that?" And he's like, "Nah, like I don't want to like like dabble in this.
Well, yeah, because he probably don't know who he is. Like, like just listen to the name 4Xtras. Like, I don't want to deal with that extra ass nigga. Right, just doing
Yeah.
the most, right? So,
But
yeah.
like
So he
Long
just
Beach,
probably.
LA is probably where it'll probably go down.
Okay. Yeah, it makes sense. But no, I definitely be intrigued to watch it though. I definitely watch. I ain't gonna lie, I'll watch the shit out of that. But I feel like somehow like that's where combat sports is kind of transitioning to is
Just like
with
big
the
names
influence,
fighting.
right? And just getting people to fight. And you realize like how many great fighters there out there that would have never probably fought unless they got, obviously with the creation of content now, right? Because even with Wallow and Gilly, like they had I think DK Darius, what's his name?
Something like
Uh,
that.
bro, ended up getting a crazy knockout on dude, bro, in one of those fights. And I feel like there's a lot of guys out there that really know how to throw hands, but they just don't have that actual training, right? But if you put that training behind somebody, they can be nice,
Yeah, because the street fighting is a good base for MMA, I feel like. That's what makes
It's
like the Diaz
it's
brothers
one of the
good.
best. It's one of the
Yeah.
best. Especially because there's certain things that let's say you cannot do in a street fight, but I feel like a lot of guys get away because it's MMA. But if you use that same mentality, because like I don't fight off my back, right?
Yeah, things like
And let's
that.
say you just take it to the streets, right? I'm never gonna be in the middle of a street fight where I'm fighting somebody throwing combinations and I fall down to my butt and stay there, right? If I fall down, I'm working to get back up to my feet. You never want to stay on your back, but a lot of guys they get comfortable there, be trying to hold and whatever. But you got slams from there. Like if we just keep it in MMA rules, but like there's still a lot of things that when you play the Jits game, it gets your ass hurt, right? Or
Facts,
as
yeah.
4Xtras like to say, get your ass killed. You know. So there's some degree of what he's saying, there's some truth in it, but at the end of the day, it's just like I'm gonna go with the trained fighter over the untrained.
Yeah. 4Xtras is like a stubborn guy, but I told him, I was like, I feel like you got to do some like amateur fights, like on the regional scene in LA. You got a big name already, win like one or two pro fights, and Dana would happily throw you on Contender Series. But he's like, that's too
Huh?
much work, I feel like.
Then yeah, then you just talking.
Yeah. Then he told me, he's like, no, I just want that contract though. And I'm like, yeah, he's not going to give that to you. Like you
Yeah,
could
yeah.
get away with like one or two fights. I mean, most guys don't have like six.
Because fighters do it right now. That's
Yeah.
why I'm saying it. Because fighters do that right now. You got
Mm.
guys that's what 23, 24 years old, whatever. Like just hop into the gym. They do it a couple years, not even a couple years, do it about a year, whatever. They can't find a couple fights in the amateur league. They just go pro, right? Then they pick and choose who they fighting to go pro with. They get a couple good knockouts. They 4-0. Now they on the Dan White Contender Series.
Facts. Okay. So you're going with SD then. You think SD is going to get the job done? He's a street fighter himself.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna go. Yeah. Not 4Xtras. I'm not going with
Not
4Xtras.
4Xtras.
No.